What's going on, everyone? I just thought I would pop on here and give you guys some update about where I've been, what I've been up to. I know this YouTube channel, I have not posted on it in, I think, over 6 months. So that should be a good enough sign there for you guys. I wanted to give an explanation. I had a few people reach out and ask me how I was doing, and I'm doing great. Everything's going really well. I wanted to shoot this live stream today to address some questions. Will I be continuing the YouTube journey as far as the Christian content and stuff like that? And I went on one hell of a journey, one hell of a spiritual quest, you could say, over the last 5 years. And I dive deep into the self-help genre and, came out the other side of that into, the new age, and then completely doing a 180 and getting baptized and going back into my Christian roots, which started the journey in the first place. What I uncovered was amazing, to say the least. I'm definitely the person I am today for having gone on that journey. So I recommend anybody, take the journey, ask the tough questions, seek truth first, right? Like Christ said, knock and the door will be opened. Seek and you will find. Now, what Jesus was saying, I really feel like I found it. And sometimes it's not what you think, right? Sometimes finding that one thing is not what you thought it was going to be. And I believe that that's why Jesus said that. He said, knock. Before you go through a door, you have to knock on it, right? What does the knocking do? The knocking is like, okay, I'm knocking on the door, and on the other side of that door, it usually involves another person to allow you permission to go through the door, right? So, we can break down the door and fly through the door without permission. And I feel like a lot of the new age is like that, right? Where, maybe you're not really supposed to be knocking on certain doors. Maybe you don't have the foundation yet to go through that door. So, Jesus was really getting at this point of knock, and make sure you really want to know what's on the other side of that door once you start knocking. So this is all metaphorical, but it relates to my spiritual path and my journey. And yeah, you should be careful what you ask for, because reality is not what we think it is. And that's what I came out the other side of this realizing, is that there was way more going on in the spiritual realm than what my little brain could comprehend. So yes, this did it got into angels, it got into demons, it got into oppression, it got into the suffering of my addiction in the past. It really got into all of that, and I have my spiritual path to thank for that. Everything that happened in the new age really paved the way for a lot of healing, but then somewhere along the lines as well, I feel like the new age in itself kind of took away from the whole reason why I started on the path to begin with. It became more about YouTube. It became about energy updates. It became about projecting this healed self, right? And let's not kid ourselves. We can heal, right? But I'm now fully on board with the teachings of Christ, and the whole realization that we need God. We need God more than we can say, oh, I healed myself going on this spiritual journey. And at the end of my journey, I realized that I didn't know anything. I thought I knew all these esoteric secrets, and I studied all this information, and that's also where I realized I ended up knowing that head knowledge is way different than head knowledge, and being book smart and reading a bunch of things doesn't equate with spiritual wisdom. It just doesn't. You can have spiritual knowledge. A lot of people have spiritual knowledge, but they don't have any wisdom, right? Wisdom requires sacrifice, discipline. So anyway, moving forward, I wanted to get on here and show you guys what I've been doing. So I'm down here at my new job, and that's working. You guys might have seen some social media posts for Mike Details. So I am working with Mike. I have detailed cars in the past, so now I'm doing window tint, and I'm down here. I pretty much just wanted to show you what's going on. This is my office right here. This is the office. We got this set up here. Our reception room is out here. I'm gonna check this out. We redid this whole room out here. It's really cool. So here is, let me do it so you guys are like walking in the lobby. All right, so this is when you walk in. I'll flip this around. So here is when you walk into the lobby. We repainted all of this. We laid the floor. This is for the window tint. This has all the tint, the difference in tints here. Here's the percentages from 5, 20, 35, 50. So that's our black ceramic film. We created all this from the ground up. So this is what I've been doing over the last year. We're super, super proud of everything that we have accomplished. So this is our showroom, well, our waiting area. We have a bathroom, obviously. Mike's brother built this really cool desk. So this is our reception area. And then out here is the shop. So we got a lift. We got a plotter for window tint. This is my car here in the bay today. Here's where we do all the tinting. We created this whole summer, so that's what I've been up to. So that's kind of the shop. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to for those people that were asking what I was doing. I am still alive, and I thought I should get on this live stream and just, give you guys an update of what's going on. So thank you, everybody that supported me thus far. I am going to be switching the content and the YouTube channel to automotive stuff, talking about detailing. So I don't think I'm going to no longer make videos about Christianity or the esoteric stuff about the Bible. I just, I kind of got what I needed from my journey, and I really, wish everybody well that I met on this journey. I feel like it's a new chapter in my life, and I did wanted to say thank you to Gloria, thank you to Yasmin Gonzalez, thank you to just everybody on this path. I know I'm forgetting. Dana, thank you, Dana, for sharing a little bit about your journey and your struggles. So I want to end with saying that there is nothing wrong with wanting to lead and be a leader, but I did find that because I started to get into the Christian content, and this is the one point that I wanted to make. When you're in the new age, you can kind of do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want to be, and there really is no guideline. So you can get up and say whatever you want to say, but there's no accountability. There's no structure. There isn't anyone to call you out, right? Because you can just say you're a spiritual leader. You can just say that you're a yoga teacher. You can just do whatever you want. But with Christianity, it's way different because we have the Bible, we have guidelines, we have standards, we have morality, right? So, and there's Jesus and the Holy Spirit and God. So there are other eyes that are watching you, right? So being a Christian leader and talking about the Bible, it automatically puts you into this realm of preacher or God, evangelist, or whatever the case is, right? So having said that, I was starting to feel uncomfortable talking about certain things, having not overcome them fully in my own life, still struggling, still having strongholds, still having quote unquote battles with my demons, still wrestling with sin, right? And people don't really understand that, we're living in so much sin that it's almost crazy once your eyes are opened to what is considered sin, right? The Greek word for sin is a matinee or a matinai, and it means missing the mark. So it's like we all fall short every day. But when you're in the new age, you don't really think that. You just kind of think that you're awesome and you can do whatever you want and there's no repercussions. There's nobody watching you. But when you talk about Christianity in the Bible, there's thousands of years, there's a morality, there's a foundation. So I was feeling my biggest thing when I was on my spiritual path was hypocrisy. And I just could not stand hypocrites. It still really irks me, and I'm not sure exactly what that core issue is within me, but I cannot stand a hypocrite. I can't stand one person that says something and they do the other. So when I started to talk about Christianity, and even though I got baptized and, even though I was following Christ to the best of my ability, I still was struggling a lot with my own sin, right? My own demons. And I felt that that was a little bit hypocritical and it was very personal. So I was torn between sharing everything, being it public knowledge, which at the end of the day, is another reason why I kind of thought that this YouTube was breaking boundaries, because that's your personal life. And if you're putting out your personal life online, that is a choice. But the nature of some of the things that I struggled with, the nature of some of the things that I was dealing with, I didn't feel should be public knowledge, right? So I started to get deep into esoterics. I started to get deep into even Christianity so far that I really broke a lot of my own boundaries of what I thought reality was comprised of. And I don't think that's for me to just broadcast out into the world, right? I think a lot of this stuff you have to find out for yourself. And for me, I had to realize what I was living with, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And I also realized that to some degree, I still had a lot of strongholds within my mind. If you know about, Christianity and strongholds, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But it's complex. It goes really deep. It goes way farther than just psychology. So there are forces that we just can't understand, that we can't comprehend, that are, like Paul said, there are, forces in high places, basically. We wrestle against not flesh and blood, but against principalities and rulers in high places. So what is Paul getting at was that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We wrestle against spiritual forces that we can't see. So, as little human beings, we would have to be really naive to think that we can figure it all out, right? And that's where I was coming from. I was like, oh, I'm going to figure this all out. Like, I'm going to dive into the Bible. I'm going to figure it all out, right? And I will admit that I was extremely foolish to think that I could figure all this out. And at the end of it all, I found out way more than I ever could have imagined. And I do remember saying a prayer one day. I said, God, like, I want to know the truth, God. Like, I got down on my hands and knees. I was like, God, like, I want to know the truth about why I'm still struggling with these things. And the next day, I think I heard a song that said something like, in the lyrics, it said, be careful what you wish for. And that really like resonated deep within me. It was like it stuck out in the song. And I believe that was the Holy Spirit, saying like, hey, like, do you really want to know? Like, do you really want to continue forth on this mission? And just now I saw 313. That's an angel number. I still see angel numbers. I still see 444. and that's also confusing because there's a lot of people that say, oh, you see numbers, you're under the influence of demons and all this crazy shit. And I'll tell you what, like, that's malarkey. So it is confusing. A lot of the stuff that I learned in the New Age, I believe, is valid. I just feel like it's distorted to a certain degree. And I think the best explanation for spiritual maladies is in the Christian arena. So that's why at the end of the path, at the end of the spiritual path, at the end of the New Age journey, I reverted back into, and it's not even a reversion. It was just I expanded further than what was in the Bible, because that was my original journey, was looking in the Bible for spiritual truth. So I didn't intend to talk for 15 minutes, but I wanted to shoot this video and let everybody know that I'm doing great. I lost 20 pounds. I'm on a shot instead of taking a pill every day. So that was for my addiction stuff. And I'm just doing really good. I got on some thyroid medication. That's why I was feeling really tired. So I got on some thyroid medication. I'm still making jewelry on Etsy. Here's my latest necklace that I made. It's really cool. But yeah, I'm doing great. I appreciate everybody that, reached out to me. But yeah, I'm moving on. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. And I need that chapter to kind of close. And that's why I'm also making this, I'm making this video, because I love spirituality and I love talking about the Bible and esoteric truth and everything. I love it, right? But at the end of the day, I also have a lot of other interests, and I love cars. I love detailing. I still make jewelry, but like, that's like a hobby, right? And I tried my best to give my all during the time that I was on YouTube. I think for 2 years straight, I did 2 videos a week, and they were full production videos. Now, it's crazy because I deleted all my content, and now people don't believe that I ever had a YouTube channel. So it's really funny because even my friend here at the shop, like, I tell him that I had videos and full-scale production videos on YouTube, and he's like, oh, all I ever seen is you just talking in your apartment. And yeah, it's just funny how that goes. So when I had a YouTube channel, nobody cared, and now when I delete all the content, all of a sudden people are like, oh, you have a YouTube channel? So it's just funny. Life is just funny like that. But those people that have followed me from the beginning, what it was. You knew, Awaken Growth was the first thing that I started. And then, and then I started the Christian content towards the end of my journey. And then I went on my own personal journey in itself. So I really hope you guys got something from this video. Moving forward, I will be probably just transitioning the channel and the subscribers on there. If you guys are interested in seeing me talk about detailing cars, maybe there'll be some little tidbits of spiritual wisdom in there. But moving forward, I have to do something that makes money. At the end of the day, I have to provide for myself. And for 5 years, I made no money on YouTube at all. There was no ad spend. There was no revenue from ads. The only thing I ever made any money on was coaching. So yeah, I just have to move forward, and this is the new deal here. This is the shop. So if you want to see me talk about, cars and car detailing, and I'm going to do educational content, but moving forward, that's what's going to be on this YouTube channel. My buddy Mike that owns the shop, he's rebuilding a Mustang, so he's doing an engine swap in that. I'm still keeping the Jetta. I'll probably be getting another car and like redoing that Over here we got the engine. We got an engine out. But yeah, I love you guys. Much appreciated for all of the people that reached out and said what up. And I just wanted to wish everyone the best, whatever path you choose. Know that follow your heart. Don't do something just because you think you have to do it. Pray about it. Ask God what's the direction, what and that, I think, is the biggest takeaway from everything that I said, is that it's not really your will, it's God's will, and God has a plan for your life. And for the longest time, I thought that it was what I wanted, right? So it's God has a plan for you. So ask God and follow that. All right, my friends. Peace.